Hey everybody, this is Dave Walsh with Card Talk, and I am coming back at you with a playthrough of the Hobbit Saga with Matt. Maybe, Matt, at some point, I think that you're probably going to just be accepted into the fold as another member of Card Talk here, because you're doing so much like playthroughs with all of the guys that, you know, we should just open up a slot for you.
I think at one point we had settled on my title was digital host or something like to that effect.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really have that snap to it. I
Right.
don't know.
Yeah.
I'm sure we could work out something.
We'll figure something out. We'll figure out a way to compensate you on equal grounds as Grant, Ted, and myself.
I feel like I'm already compensated. I get to play lots of fun Lord of the Rings games.
That's true. So just to remind all the audience about this, is Matt and I decided probably like a year ago at this point that we wanted to play the Hobbit Saga using the recommended decks. Matt hadn't played through the whole thing, and I don't think you have yet played through the whole thing, right? Like not as a side thing?
I have not. In fact, this is the only scenario I have not even attempted.
Okay.
About all of 5 RVs, I've tried at least once in a 4-player game with all 3 Hunters decks. That went very poorly. So
yeah, and so you know, so it was, you know, of course we were going to try to you know, get through it all with this, and then I think I'm still up for it at some point to try to build, again, thematic decks, but super strong decks to be able to beat the nightmare versions of these scenarios. But that's in the future. We'll worry about that. Tonight, we're going to just try to get rid of Smog. And I think that this scenario is widely regarded as the community's maybe most unfair scenario, because there's a mechanic in here where Smog can continually attack the players. And I mean, while that's thematic, that Smog is this super powerful dragon that can just kill everything, there's times when it feels like it's just not fair because you just can't get out of it. So if Smog makes 6 attacks and kills all 6 of your heroes, then, you know, we're done. And it's like you can't do anything about it. So and that seems kind of unfair. But, you know, we're still going to do this, and this scenario is fun to a point. Like, there's a point at which it becomes not fun, but it's fun and exciting. Like, it puts you on the edge of your seat. I don't know. But Matt, you've kind of kept us in line with the lore throughout this. So where does this, like, what's the lore behind all of this? What are we doing here?
So this scenario is probably closest to what the title of the Saga expansion here is. We're sitting on the doorstep, technically the secret doorstep to Erebor, and with the key in hand, the company is going to shove Bilbo into the secret passageway and have him go burgle some treasure, which he was hired to do. And with that treasure, their plans were to either recruit or, if they're kin, or hire mercenaries to come back and drive the dragon out in force.
Yeah, so let's see if we can do that. And I think all of the scenarios in Lord of the Rings, Matt, they have like I've seen it time and time again posted in all the forums. It's like a puzzle. Every scenario is a puzzle to figure out. This one isn't as much of a puzzle as it is like, the point is like, burgle one thing and just quest through the whole thing. We should not try to like be fancy and say, oh, we can get one more thing. I think I've played this 3 or 4 times when I was playing through the Hobbit Saga, maybe 2.5 years ago. I was doing it with my Sylvan deck, and I think the most treasure I got was two treasures, and I realized that you just don't try to get all the treasures. Like, you just don't. Smog is guarding them too much, too well to even try it. I mean, so you can try to do the achievement unlock thing, and I think you'd have to get really lucky. But here, I think we're just going to try to, get through this unscathed, or as much unscathed as we can. So I think that's the strategy. That's the puzzle part of this. So,
and that's thematic, right? Because Bilbo really gets out with the Arkenstone, which is a possibility in the 5 treasure cards we have in the special deck.
Right. There's the 5 treasure cards, just so everybody sees them. Normally we would, like if you were playing this live, you would put them under the Lonely Mount, but we have them aside and in the, I don't know, special 2-second special deck or whatever. So they're down here. You guys can see them, and then that way we have them not cluttering up the staging area, or we don't accidentally flip them over when we're doing something crazy. So, but I think we're all set up. If we look at the setup instructions, you have Smog the Golden, Smog the Magnificent, Lonely Mountain, Bear Patch. We set the Bear Patch out of play with Smog the Magnificent over here, and then Smog the Golden and Lonely Mount comes into play. And so now that's what we have to worry about. The neat mechanic that I like is that the Lonely Mountain gains more and more threat the more and more treasure that you steal from it. And that's kind of neat. I think that's pretty neat. So, anyways.
So we're not dealing with a 12 threat location right off the bat. Shoo.
Thank goodness. So yeah. So why don't you flip over the quest card and we'll see what we got going on here. So we get a free round here. And Matt, you can attest to this. Anytime the game gives you a free round, it just means it's going to be that much more difficult from here on out. So actually, we would have to do the combat phase, but it's still not, Smog the Golden. I don't think that there's any reason why we would want to optionally engage Smog the Golden, but
he can't be engaged anyway, so.
Oh, yep, there it is. Cannot be engaged. I knew he's immune and all that stuff, so he just sits up there and gathers threat. He's sleeping in his mountain. So it's in essence a free phase. So let's hopefully capitalize as much as we can on our free phase. So I guess
sounds good to me.
So Control N and let's start this game here. Okay. So Matt, why don't you go first here if we can?
Sounds good.
I'm just looking to see what you have in your hand.
Well, I got a Steward of Gondor, which is always good to see. I think I will go ahead and put that on Balin.
Yes. Balin's nice because he can cancel shadow effects, which we may need.
And as much as I'd like to play an ally right now, playing my Snowborn Scout isn't going to help us, and I need another resource to play anyone else. So,
right.
I think it's over to you.
If I were you, maybe you would spend the one Baggins resource to go pull out the treasure.
Yes, and actually has to be from my deck. We should probably put Bilbo's Magic Ring in mine.
Yeah, we're going to see another planning phase here, so
not a big deal.
It's not a big deal, but yes, in general, the Magic Ring should go in the first player's deck, I guess. But
all right,
that'd be fun. You can pull out Glamdring and get it onto Thorin and get him going, I guess.
All right, so we got Glamdring. I need those crams.
Yep. Okay, you did have
spare hood and cloak, and Snowborn Scout might work.
Right, you have You have some options there. For me, I think I'm just going to I have a miner in the Iron Hills that I could bring out. I don't know if there's any condition attachments here. I'm not as intimately familiar with the encounter deck, so I'm just going to bring out a miner of the Iron Hills.
That I will remind you, the black bats we saw in Flies and Spiders are back, and they can become condition attachments.
They can. Okay. Well, I think I'm just gonna risk it. It is what it is. And then I'm gonna put Expert Treasure Hunter onto Ori, because that's a 0 cost card. And then next round I'll be able to put out a Veteran Axe hand or play a Dwarven Axe, because of the resources. So,
Okay.
So that's planning, and now we get to skip over questing, and so now this is what happens when we haven't played a quest in a while, is that now we look for triggers and we try to figure out what's going on.
Well, we can't travel to Lonely Mountain because it still has treasures. Smog can't be engaged. I think that's pretty much takes care of everything.
Okay. I think the burgle attempt is going to be what we are trying to figure out, the mechanic of the burgle attempt. So, right? Because we get to do an action while making a burgle attempt. Maybe we have to reveal a card that has a burgle keyword on it. What's the rules say, Matt?
So, Burgle's a new game effect featuring some encounter cards in Lonely Mountain. Burgle effects are ignored except when making a burgle attempt. And then we have the different steps, but nothing has instructed us to make a burgle attempt yet. Okay. So the action here is actually, as I talk about the steps, is why it'll be helpful, is that like step 1 is we have to discard a card from the top of the encounter deck till we get a burgle effect. And then step 2 is we shuffle our deck and discard the top card.
Mm-hmm.
And so the action here for Lonely Mountain basically says, hey, if that's a good card, you could spend
some resources,
build resources to get that card, and then reveal the next card of your deck.
Right.
The other thing too is with step 3 is you have to discard a number of cards that match that revealed card spheres, type or cost or combination, depending on what the burgle attempt says to do. So you can kind of, between steps 2 and 3, use that action to be like, well, there's no way I'm going to match that card, so I'll spend the 2 resources and try to find one that works.
Right. Okay, so we're not burgling right now in the first step. So I think that we are done? Question mark?
I'm pretty sure we are, because we can't travel, we can't engage anything.
Right. Okay.
There's no staging.
Yep. Okay. So now we get to move on. A whole bunch of flavor text, and then on 2B, let's see. After questing successfully, place 1 progress on Smog the Golden, then the first player makes a burgle attempt. So we have to make a burgle attempt once we quest successfully.
Correct.
And successful, we take the top treasure card from the Lonely Mountain, and then we go to stage 3. And then if we're unsuccessful, then Smog the Golden attacks. And so that's where it gets... So we have to make sure that we pass the burgle attempt, I think, is the important thing. Right there. So, okay. New round?
Yep.
Okay.
You really should just...
Okay. So, do I want 5 dwarves, or do I want Gimli to be beefy. I think I want 5 dwarves right now.
Yes, they'll kick in your extra draw from Ori, right?
Right. Yep. And I already have 5 dwarves because Bomber counts as 2.
So
Which
did
to
you
me
draw
is
your
so.
extra card then?
I did not. That's so funny. Okay, so I got a faux hammer. This may change what I do, but probably not. Yeah. Okay. I think I'm done.
All right.
Um,
And my new card was a very good tail. So,
Yay.
and we still don't have a good target for Snowborn Scout, so I think what I will do then is spend my 6 leadership resources, Loin, and Silverlord Archer, and we will gamble on a very good tail here to get me some more allies.
That would be amazing. If you got another dwarf, that would be really good.
So 1, 2, 3,
Hey.
4,
Hey.
and 5.
Hey.
Well, Snowborn Scout, you don't have very good stats and nothing to target, so you're getting discarded with these
Right.
other 2.
Right. It's a shame that Feely's ability is you have to play him from your hand, but whatever.
Yep.
I see why. Like from a game mechanics point of view, you can't just have somebody chaining into, because now the 3 allies, like I get it, but it'd be neat if no matter how Feely or Keely enters play, that you would be able to get both of them.
That's a whole nother discussion
Right.
about how restrictive some of the cards are. That it's like, do you really need to make it that restrictive?
Yeah. Caleb,
Oh, well.
Caleb was always on the conservative side for card design. Even his bomb cards, the one that are really like strong, are still conservative in terms of their strength. Like they're super strong, but not like so overpowered. So
Some of that too, I think, was laid in the early sets. It's like even this one, was it last box that the Caleb was brought on board, but somewhat the third party had been designing it already, and so he just kind of was putting the finishing touches on it.
yes, that's exactly what it was. It was just somebody was designing it, and he was like they didn't have enough time or desire or whatever, so he only could tune it. He didn't really have much of a say in how it all went together. So okay, well, I think we should quest. I don't have much questing over here, but I can try. So we're up against number of non-burglar characters committed to the quest. Okay.
Yeah, so basically questing with Feely or Wandering Took is a wash. So.
Is a wash, right. So I'm going to quest with Ori and with Gimli, so that at least helps. So that's 4 from me.
We could still send Bilbo as well.
There's an extra 1. Yep, I'll do that. So that's 5. Oh, should I go get the magic ring?
Yeah, because the magic ring allows you to get more Baggins resources, which will let us trigger the Lonely Mountain more often.
Right, so that's what I'm going to do. I don't know why let me take control of it.
So Smog just decimates us. We gotta remember for next attempt to put the magic ring in whoever is first player's deck.
I mean, that's just good for any time you're playing these scenarios. We learned that last scenario, and I guess we just forgot about it. I've been moving, so that's another reason why. It's been a little bit of time in between plays, but whatever. I'm looking for Bilbo's magic ring, and there it is. Okay, so and that thing costs 0, so I'm just gonna play it here. And so we get the exhaust and then raise threat by 1 to get extra resource. So that's good.
Yep. And
Did you reduce your threat by 1 for playing Glowing?
Gwen,
Yeah.
I did not. Thank you.
Yeah.
And forget about Nori's ability there. All right. Well, I guess since we know there's only a few enemies, and they're not necessarily that bad. And actually, I probably should have played my spare hood and cloak on, say, the Took there.
Mm-hmm.
And then I can easily quest with my heroes here and be able to ready someone.
Right.
So I'll be sending 7.
Okay, so that's 12, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So Smog has 5 plus 2 more, so there's 7 in the staging area. That's my count. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okie doke. Card
All right,
number
card number
1. Okay, is the Desolation of Smog. Okay, so that adds 3.
Card number 2
is Bats. And
we are breaking even at 12 then.
12. Is there any way that we can boost that? There's no way to boost it, right?
Your secret paths.
I can, yes. So I will play Secret Paths. And
because we need the quest successfully in order to burgle.
right. So I'm gonna put that onto the Desolation of Smog.
All right, so we quest successfully. So Smog the Golden gets a progress, and then the first player makes a burgle attempt. So we got to discard cards until we find a burgle card.
Okay.
Hey, the first card is a burgle card.
First player shuffles his deck. Let me read the directions here. The first player shuffles his deck and reveals the top card. He may discard 2 cards from his hand that match the revealed card sphere. Okay. I have Tactics in my hand, and I have 4 tactics cards and only 1 lore card, so I better turn over a lore card because I think, let's see, we don't have the 2 Baggins resources. We only can get 1. So we have to actually make sure that this works. So, okay. So I'm going to shuffle up my cards. And then make sure that I know make sure I follow the rules correctly. So now, according to the burgle, now I can, I look at the top card, right?
Yeah, you reveal the top card of your deck.
Okay, so I'm going to do that. And it is neutral. Okay.
So we basically failed that burgle attempt.
Okay, so that burgle attempt fails. It says that, and so I may discard 2 cards. So because it's neutral, get rid of this guy. And so now I'm failing a burgle attempt. So now
Smog attacks you.
So Smog attacks me. So I'm just going to defend with the Miner of the Iron Hills, whatever.
Okay. No shadow?
No shadow. Shocking. Okay, so the Miner of the Iron Hills dies. Is there any special thing that happens with Smog? X is the number of burgled characters. Nope. He attacked for 6. And that's what happened. So, okay.
Nope, that's it for now.
Okay. So now the other question is, do we want to engage? Do we want to travel? Do we want to engage bats?
We might as well travel to the Desolation just so we don't have to deal with the threat in the staging area.
Mm-hmm. I
the
agree.
treachery being surged will kind of suck, but
right.
Questing unsuccessfully will suck more.
Right. And throughout this whole process, the one thing that I've always been grumpy about is that we don't have any real ranged or sentinel characters. I mean, I know that you have the Silverlode Archer out, and that's ranged, but like, so these bats come down. It'd be a shame, like, if it damages, it becomes a condition attachment, and that's a pain in the neck and things like that. So, like, I could defend it for you, but then you won't be able to attack it. Can I kill it? Maybe I can do it for you. Yeah, I can defend and do it with the veteran axe hand and stuff. But I think when we build our nightmare, we need to make sure that we incorporate at least sentinel into our mix. Let's say that.
Agreed.
Okay, so I will take the bats and I will use Bomber to defend the bats and hope that I don't take a damage.
All right.
Okay, so Bomber defends. Okay.
No shadow, no damage.
Okay, and then I will kill the bats with the veteran axe hand.
Great.
Okay. So that feels okay, right?
Yep.
Okay, so control.
Probably should give Bilbo a resource with his magic ring, just so we have 2 for the next Burgle attempt.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll raise my threat by 1 and give Bilbo the thing. You can take control back of. Do we exhaust the magic ring?
Yes, you have to exhaust the ring and raise your threat by 1 to get the resource.
Oh, see, we can also have Bilbo. Anyways, Bilbo can take the attack from Smaug if we wanted to. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's defend the attack and cancel all damage.
Cancel all damage, right. Okay, so now what do we do? What do we do?
Well,
I don't have anything to do, but
I could get another archer out and the Snowborn Scout just so we have more progress on that desolation.
Mm-hmm.
But is it worth saving a leadership resource for Ballin's ability? I guess it doesn't really matter because the enemies we have aren't that beefy, and discarding a shadow from Smaug that's triggered isn't exactly a good idea.
Right.
So I will go ahead and play both of them.
Sure. Seems reasonable. You could do
progress.
You could do the fancy sneak attack. Sneak attack the Snowborn Scout. We did that, and that helped us in the last scenario. That was fun.
I don't have the resources to both sneak attack him in and play him this turn. I guess I could save him for next turn, but
yeah. It was just it was fun. It was fun to remind myself of that.
Yeah, I got test of will if we get a surging treachery. That's just awful.
Right. Yep.
I think it's over to you there, Dave.
Oh, I'm not doing anything. The only thing that I could do is play Expecting Mischief, in case we get one of those bats or birds.
Or maybe hold on to your 2 lore cards in case we see that same Burgle.
Right. So.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not as familiar with all the different Burgle attempts that there are, so.
I'm not familiar with any of them at all. Actually, that might. Should I be playing my allies then if we need cards in hand to discard? I don't know.
I don't know either.
Well, I guess we'll play it as is here, and we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, we can't play to fail, right? Like, we're going to pass. We're going to get a Burgle. It'll be fine.
All right. Well, I am going to send my same heroes and Bilbo for 8.
8, and I will send 2, 4 for... So we're at 12? And we're up against 7, I think, still. Because
correct.
Smaug is 5, and we go from there.
All right. First card. It is a treachery, so this surges.
Why does it surge?
Uh,
Oh, the
Desolation of Smog is our active location.
Sure. And it says attached to here with the most resources without dragon spell on it.
And attached here, it's -1 more power for each resource in its resource pool.
So that's mine, right?
With
the most
resources. Nori's got 3.
Oh, yeah. Look at that. Is that a test of willable thing?
We do need to be able to quest pretty well. So last time we were just even.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's worth it.
Yep. So.
All right.
So I should have kept my Miner of the Iron Hills. That's what you're saying. Note to self. Got it. So surge into another treachery. Each dragon enemy in the staging area makes an immediate attack against the player with the highest total willpower. That be you.
Yep.
Do not deal a shadow card for this attack, so that's good.
Yep. So basically, we're just going to throw the Snowborn Scout to Smog there.
That's good. Okay.
And then second card, way down. Exhausted characters get -1 stats till the end of the round.
Okay. So that's how many characters? We have 5 characters exhausted, so 6. So we lose the quest by 1.
Which means Smog no, after an unsuccessful burgle attempt. So we just take the 1 threat raise.
Yes, we do.
All right.
I may have actually forgotten to draw an extra card from Ori's ability this last time around. I'm not sure.
Oh, you know what? I probably could have. So now that you mention that, I don't think I got my extra resource for Thorin. No. I'll remember this next turn because I'm going to set the additional resource.
Right.
All right.
Okay, so are we ready to move on here?
I think so.
Okay. Control N. Hey, I got a Miner of the Iron Hills. I am going to not play that this time around. In case we get the condition attachment.
And I got the lucky number, so we can use Bilbo's stats to boost someone.
That's good. Okay, and oh, I get a second card. Whew. And I got Burglar Baggins.
I guess I didn't activate Bilbo's magic ring last time.
Yeah, and I'm going to go search for another thing. I'm going to go get Sting.
All right, how about we keep his resources the same? I'll raise my threat by 1 since I didn't activate it last time.
Okay, and I will go find Sting because that's the helpful card. There's Sting. Wow. And we'll put Sting right onto Bilbo. And so now he gets +1. So, and I love the ability. Okay. So now what? Do we quest?
I think so. So all I've got is sneak attack and lucky number in my hand.
Okay, I'm gonna actually play. I'm feeling like we want that out there this time around, so I'm gonna play that. Okay. So, questing. We'll quest with Bilbo. Whoops, not Bomber. So I guess. Do you control Bilbo? No, I control Bilbo. So
we can pass it back and forth.
That's
that
fine.
Big a deal.
Yeah, it's not a huge deal one way or the other. But I will. I guess I'm questing for 6.
And I'm questing for 9 now that I realize coin is 2 willpower.
So that
also makes Smog 6 threat this time around.
Okay, so, but we're 15 versus 8, which is pretty reasonable.
All right.
I haven't triggered Expert Treasure Hunter yet, but I feel like I'm not going to much. Anyways, go ahead.
All right.
Yep.
First card is Belching Fire. So he is going to attack me again. Let's see. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and let Feely defend this. I got plenty of resources, so I don't need to have 5 dwarves.
Okay.
So, goodbye, Feely.
Goodbye. You are the weakest link. Goodbye.
And that has Surge
has
because of
Surge.
Desolation.
Mm-hmm. So,
And we have Fighting Amongst Friends, and this is where Test of Will have been great. So basically, you have to name a sphere, and all the other ones not of that sphere removed from the quest. So I have to choose leadership to keep us questing at 7.
okay. And then, but we're actually questing for 9 because we remove all non-Baggins sphere. So,
Okay.
So Frodo or Bilbo stays committed to the quest.
All right. So that's our second card. Known to announce. Each player discards 2 random cards from their hand. Until the end of the phase, each dragon enemy gets +1 threat for each event discarded by this effect.
Okay.
So that is going to be rough because there's going to be 2 threat added by my 2 events.
I had 1 event. So
Okay.
we add
Puts them up to 9.
So that was okay.
So we fail by 2.
Nope. I'm gonna play Burglar Baggins.
So now we're even.
Right.
It's too bad I don't have my lucky number still.
I can't remove the resources from Bilbo. I'll let you do it.
Okay.
Okay, so we quest even. That's the best I can do. It's questing even.
Well, I apparently canceled the wrong treachery. The Fight Amongst Friends is pretty bad. So it got rid of most of our questing power.
Right. We would have been able to do stuff had that not come out. But, I mean, it is what it is. We're still floating, I guess. We're just kind of... We're managing. Should we add a resource to Bilbo?
Oh yeah, I can do that.
Okay, I'll raise my threat by 1 and add a resource. You don't raise your threat. I think it's just
next turn.
Okay, and then you get to add the resource to him too. Okay, so we should have 3. Okay, here we go. There's another Expert Treasure Hunter, and a third. Oh man. Okay, I'm gonna play Bofer. I have so many foe hammers in my hand. I have 3 foe hammers in my hand. What do you got? Do you have a cram? Good. Way to go.
Yep. And I'm first player, so I'm going to be the one burgling, so I'm afraid to play it now.
I was going to say, why isn't it out there on the board? Yeah, because you're going to have to discard cards from your hand. So,
yep. And this deck has no card draw.
Right. If you want, I could put an Expert Treasure Hunter on one of your heroes.
I'd be okay with that.
Okay. Who's the one that's going to quest the most? Here, you can take control of it and do whatever you want.
Actually, that works, because Nori is going to be questing.
Okay. Well, should we do this?
Yep.
Okay,
right.
So there's 2, 4. I'll quest with Bofer for 6.
And I will send 11 with my heroes and Gloin and Bilbo. So,
1,
looks like
2,
we're
3.
17 again. And we've got 3 on your side, 4 on my side. So Smog is 7.
7. And the Lonely Mountain is 2, so we're at 9. Right. So should I I'll, do I do this?
Yeah, so it's
Yes.
either enemy that would nuke it, and we won't have to worry about its threat.
Yep, I'm doing it.
All right, first card, Hidden Path. There's the one to have be at the active location.
Yep.
And then card number 2 is the Great Hall. So we got 7 more threat to add to the 9, which makes it 16.
Yep. Which means we quested successfully by 1. Is there any way that we can boost anything? Help. No. Nothing.
No.
Nope. Okay.
Well, we get to put a progress on Smog the Golden and make a burgle attempt.
Yay. Burgle. You're not going to be able to burgle anything. Burgle.
Nope, I can because I just
shuffle
need to
one
discard.
card. Right. Okie doke.
So shuffle.
Did you want an expert treasure hunter before you?
Ooh, that's a good point. Yes, I do. And let's see, what is my deck mostly of? Events or allies? Got a good number of allies out, so we'll say for expert treasure hunter event. Nope, that was an ally.
Okay.
All right, and then Burgle. Let's see. We need to discard 1 card from his hand matched to real type and cost. Well, I'm not going to be able to pass that, so let's use the
2 resources.
2 resources here. Put that in my hand and reveal the next card of my deck. So it's type and cost. Well, I'm not going to be able to pass that either. We spend the 2 more resources to try and hopefully get another.
Absolutely. Don't ask me. Don't ask me more than once.
I can match the type, but not the cost on that one, unfortunately.
Oh, well.
We have no more resources.
Okay, well, we failed a burgle attempt.
All right, so Smog attacks me.
Is there any way that we can play the lucky number for 1, and then that way he adds his willpower to somebody else's willpower, so that at least we can get through the active location? It's something to do, or we can't do it.
No.
We can't do it, right? Because we already had resolved the quest before because we were burgling when that card. Okay.
Yeah.
Dang it. Brr. Okay. But we can use that to add defense if you wanted to. If somebody could defend.
No, I mean, my Silverload archers, or I only hesitate to sacrifice my Wandering Took just because he has the spare hood and cloak.
Right.
But we also have the enemies have not been that big a deal to deal with, so we can just let him go. So Wandering Took will defend this from Smog. No shadow. So those are gone. All right. We can't travel. Can't engage anything. Looks like we were at the end of the round.
Okay. Looks like stinks. Lore of Imladris. Plus I get another card here. And I get an Erebor Hammersmith. I'm going to put the Erebor Hammersmith into play for 2. Do you have an attachment in your discard pile?
Yeah, spare hood and cloak.
Let me see what I have in my discard pile, because I had to discard something. I have all just events and Gandalf. So if you want to grab the spare hood and cloak out, you can.
Yeah, might as well.
We forgot to do the ring again last time, but that's fine.
I can erase my threat and we get the resource.
Okay.
Meant to do that. Keep forgetting. Good news is I have the resources to play Grim Resolve over if we really needed to ready everyone for whatever reason.
Yeah. Okay. I don't have any idea what we're doing in this time around, so I don't know how we're going to get through. But we will try, and we will do this as best we can.
I think I will hold on to Dwalin just because the cards in my hand are more important now for the Burgle attempts than playing out more allies, I think.
Okay.
So, quest.
4, 6, 8. I have 8, and you have
9.
9, so we're still at 17, and right now there's 16 in the staging area. This is the problem. Okay, you need a Snowborn Scout. Something fierce here. Okay. Let's go.
Alright. First card. Surges, and this one does attach to Balin.
Like Balin.
So we lose 2 willpower.
Okay. Oops.
And Surge card, Secret Entrance. Okay. It's only 1 threat.
Yep.
And then third card, Desolation.
Okay, so we're 20 versus 15. So we lost by 5.
Yikes.
We're just becoming location locked at this point. We have 5 locations in the staging area, and we can't do anything about it. So we're going to continue to lose the quest because we can't quest anymore. Actually, we're questing less now every turn. I feel like, well, I can remove the 1 condition attachment. That's not a problem. I don't know. It just depends on if we get Gandalf in play, I guess.
Well, and we had those couple of turns where all I saw was treacheries.
Right.
So it's possible we could get no more threat added, but not very likely.
Right. Let's try one more round. Well, when we fail, do we have to do Burgle, or only when we're successful?
It's only when we're successful. So we just need to raise our threat by 5.
Yay, 5. Okay, and then I guess I will exhaust the ring and add a resource because you're at 44, so
yep,
might as well. Okie doke. Let's see. You get to add the resource too. I can't, but we can do that in a minute.
Okay.
Okay. Draw another card. So I'm going to play the Miner of the Iron Hills. That means you get rid of your condition attachment.
Thank you.
Yep. And then I'm also going to play the Dwarven Axe. And I am going to be done. I don't have any...
Yeah, none of the cards in my hand are useful except for Burgle attempt fodder at this point.
Right.
So.
Okay. So
One more
let's
college try here.
one more. So 2, 4, 6. Okay. I'm questing for 6.
I'm 11, so we're 17 again.
We're still at 17, and in the staging area is 20. I feel like this is the end of the end. It's not even the beginning of the end. It's the end of the end.
Yep. It's like a lucky number to get us 2 more somewhere,
Right.
but that's still not enough.
We need Gandalf to come and help save the day here.
That we do.
So, and he's probably not gonna help too much. So,
Well, it's the single character stats because of smog, basically, and keeping my ally swarm from doing any good without Dane or Faramir to boost everyone.
right. Right. And Faramir's not in this deck?
He is not.
Right. Which is a shame. Do we play it out, or do we?
I think we need to call it here.
Yeah, I mean,
We're losing by 3
Well,
without even revealing cards.
I was gonna say, go ahead, reveal the 2 cards, or at least something. There's okay. So what's this? Surge. So it's double surge. Surge. Put a progress on, then spend X resources to advance to stage 4A. X is the number of progress tokens on Smog the Golden.
So, do we have to spend the resources? Because it makes it sound like we do.
Right.
Oh boy.
Well,
So
put a
I
progress
guess we have
token.
to spend.
So now we go to 4A. We spend 3 to go to 4A.
Oh, yeah, spend 3 resources or advance to stage 4A. So we have to spend the 3 Baggins resources or we go immediately to 4A.
So I don't even know.
I think we have to spend the resources.
I don't know what 4A is. That's, I guess, what is my thing. Like, 4A may be better.
Well, let's see. Quest card says Thieves, Fire, Murder. Remove all progress. And Smog the Golden. Add Smog the Magnificent. And what do we need to do? There's 7 progress to the stage. Remove all damage from Smog the Magnificent. Set aside out of play. Then add Smog the Golden.
So
The
it
stage
just
area
goes
set the
back
deck back to 2B.
Okay.
So I don't think we want to go to 4
No,
at all.
I agree. Okay. Okay, so next card. That was so double surge. So surge.
So first surge.
Way down.
That will definitely cause me to threat out because we're going to be down at least 6 willpower.
Yes, that's going to cause both of us to threat out. Okay, well, that was fun, and that's only the first surge, right?
Yep.
Oh well, should we try this again?
Yeah, let's give it a shot.
Okay, well, everybody, there it is. That's our first playthrough of the Lonely Mount. I don't even know if we even learned anything in that, like how to do this. I think
I think I overplayed my hand.
Yeah, I mean, we only really made 1 burgle attempt too. So I mean we made 2 burgle attempts, but I think that maybe we learned a little bit, but like in a lot of scenarios, you learn a ton after playing it. And I don't know if I learned a ton about what to do and how to get through this as much. So, yeah.
Traveling to the Desolation of Smog is not necessarily a good idea, as much as I liked getting the threat out of the staging area for us to quest over.
Right.
So that extra encounter card was more common than I was expecting it to be.
Right. Absolutely.
And keep some cards in hand for burgle attempts.
Yep. Okay, well, join us again as we take on the Lonely Mountain at least one more time, everybody. Have a good day.
Bye, everyone.